Looks good. Beautiful. Quality's perfect. 1080p. All right. Test, test. 1, 2, 3. What's going on, Ditto? Welcome in. I added the chat on the screen this time, so it actually looks better. Let me update the link in the school too. I know we gotta update that link to actually show the proper stream link. What's up, Julio? Saw you in here last time. Looks good. Got it on, let's see. Okay, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. Perfect. We'll get this link up in the school. Save that. Awesome. So if anyone's coming from the school, you can actually click on the link on the school, and it'll actually send you directly to the stream on LinkedIn, which is perfect. Cool. Post looks good. School community link works well. 187. Hopefully we can hit 100, or actually we can hit 200 people after this live easily. That'd be the goal. 200 people after this live. Okay, I'll let everyone get in for a couple minutes, and we'll actually start out with kind of going through my content these last, 7 days. I'll break that down first. But before we get started, I'll just give everyone a few minutes to get in here, and then we'll kind of break it down. Open up the chat. What's up, Mark? Good to see you over from YouTube. What's good? About to get started. We're going to start actually with content today. So let me bump up the OBS. We'll go to Accelerator. Beautiful. Make this a little bigger. Awesome. All right, last stream I was thinking about adding music, but I think I'll just keep it off for now just so it's not distracting. I know for myself, I do like streams with music, but we'll probably keep it off for now. It just might be easier. Yeah, cool. So I will start off in just a minute here with the content process for last week. I figured instead of answering all the questions right away, we'll kind of break down what's working for me this week. We'll kind of go over some analytics, what's doing well on LinkedIn right now, so you guys can kind of get a better understanding, hopefully create some content for this upcoming week. I'm not sure if you guys post on the weekends, but I always do. We'll kind of create a bit of a system here so we can get started throughout the next 7 days. So let's see, the school community should have the link out now. So if you guys are from the school, you can actually press on the link, and it'll take you directly to LinkedIn. It'll take you to the live here. What's up, Martin? Good to see you in here. So yeah, we'll start in about 2 minutes once everyone's in. You can just press on the link here if you're on the school community right now. You can join from this link. Any other questions on the school? I know if you guys do have questions, you can also ask in the chat or throughout this live if you want. If you go to the school community, you can go to this post here, ask any question you want in the comments here, and I'll just go through all the comments that I see in here. I'll just answer them throughout the stream here. So no worries on that either. Marcel, what's good? Thank you, man. I'm actually giving a bunch of it away today. We've got some giveaways going on the stream and in the school, so got some good stuff. Got where's the OBS? Got some hats, got some stickers. So we got lots of good stuff. Okay, let's go back to where'd the restream? Perfect. All right. So I will go ahead and get started with the content this week, just so you guys kind of know. So basically what we've got going on right now is we've got the live, which is obviously what we're doing right now. But today I posted a more of a personalized, relatable post here. So today's post was talking about the LinkedIn algorithm. Now, what I've noticed is that people are literally seeing like an 80 to 90% impression loss in all their content, which means you have to be building something besides just posting LinkedIn content. Now, for my sake, it's very easy. So I kind of posted this in the school community today, but if you're not already doing this, my recommendation for anyone that's trying to build on LinkedIn would be to diversify your income streams. I've got roughly 5 to 7 income streams, whether it's like sponsored content, partnerships. I've got my content agency, done for you, done with you services. We've got my paid community. So having different revenue streams is going to be like the easiest way to keep revenue coming in and keeping cash flow coming into your business without relying all just on your LinkedIn posts. What's up, Haven? Good to see you here, man. And Eli, what's good? What's good? Good to see you guys. We're just going over the content real quick from this week. But yeah, today's post, we're talking about the algorithm, diversify your income streams, just start investing more time in what you're building. If you don't have, like if you have a skill right now and you really want to grow more on LinkedIn, but you don't really know how to do it, invest time into figuring that out. So like what content should you create? The actual systems you're going to use to build a profitable business. All those things matter in terms of like what you're going to be doing on LinkedIn. So invest your time into that. Own your audience through an email list. I cannot like just tell you enough. Build an email list, build a newsletter, whatever it is. Build a list so you can easily do that and just sell throughout your LinkedIn, your newsletter, whatever you're building. Having an email list is going to help a lot. Okay, and the other thing, let me open this back up. Okay, awesome. All right, so that's gonna be the post for today. Just a relatable thing about the LinkedIn algorithm. I'm assuming you guys in the chat have seen this, but the organic posts right now are not doing that good. We're seeing a pretty big impression loss, so I'm assuming you guys are relating to that too. What's up, Sanjar? Good to see you in here. Hope your Friday is going off to a good start. And then this CTA and this post, we did like the 3 thing again, so like 3 images. Guys, it's working really well. I posted this in the school yesterday, but I talked about how showing like 3 different images and horizontal is working really well on LinkedIn. So I'd recommend doing this. Like one photo of yourself. We've got like a close-up photo here, another close-up photo here. So just showing photos of yourself, showing your face, but also doing like the 3 visual representation is working really, really well on LinkedIn right now. And Harshita, welcome in. Good to see you from LinkedIn. Yeah, so that's gonna be today's post. Yesterday's post, we did a video talk about the new features in Taplio. I test out AI tools every single week, so you're gonna see different tools I test out: Taplio, Beehive, Supergrow, Magic Post, A&M. I test a lot of different tools out, so I always post that probably like on a Tuesday. Yesterday's was on a Thursday. But I do this every single week where I'll test different posts. I'll give like my affiliate links, which have usually like some free trials and stuff. So I typically do that. That was yesterday's post. I liked it. It did really well. People love testing out these new tools, so it's one of those things I like to do. Now, the day before that, I did publish a new YouTube video. So on Wednesday, I did publish a YouTube video promo post on LinkedIn. Every single week when I post a YouTube video, I will do a promo post. I'll also send out a newsletter. So the system kind of goes like post the YouTube video, publish a LinkedIn post, and also publish 2 newsletters, one on LinkedIn, one on my third party on Beehive. And that's the best way to kind of publish that. So that's going to be Wednesday's post. The day before that, we tried another one of the 3 visual posts. This is kind of talking about the content strategy and growth strategy that I'm using right now on LinkedIn to really help people grow. I also tell people like how simple systems you can create on LinkedIn and actually work. So my business system and the system I'm using for content is very simple, but it works super well because of how straightforward and simple it is versus trying to be like some crazy complex, like something that doesn't even make sense framework, right? The more simple, the better. That's kind of what I demonstrate in this one. Again, personal images, you see my face, that works really well. Mark, to answer your question about newsletters, yeah, I use Beehive. Another really good tool is going to be Kit. It used to be ConvertKit, but Beehive and Kit are 2 of the best ones. The reason why I like Beehive so much is 1, all the features are for newsletter. So Kit is a little more advanced, has got a lot of features for other things, but Beehive is strictly newsletter. It's also integrated with my website tool, which is called TypeDream, so I can easily embed the Beehive into my website, which is another really great thing that I like. But overall, Beehive, just the automations, the segments I can use, the personalization from everything I can build on Beehive just makes totally sense for my business. And it's also the one that I recommend in my modules, my courses, you name it. So that's one of the ones I would recommend fully for building out a newsletter. Okay, and the one before that, I did another post on an AI tool. This one was using Magic Post. They actually recently raised like 700K, so I want to make a post on that. So this is a Magic Post. I showed the tool to see if AI could write like me. It was pretty awesome. So again, some tool videos. And then I've got a school promo. We recently launched our school community, so it's promoting the school. And then my last LinkedIn Live. So that's going to be the last 7 days of content on LinkedIn. Again, a lot of my face. Every single post you see is use my face. I do a lot of promos for my school, my newsletter, my free stuff. A lot of the CTAs, really, you don't really see too many CTAs in my posts. There are a lot of just like, PS, have you joined our school community yet? This one's going to be a YouTube CTA. This one's a CTA to try out this tool. This is a CTA to join the school. But overall, I don't really try too much with the CTAs, especially when you're first starting out. If you're posting LinkedIn content, you're just starting out. If you overrun your community and your audience with CTAs, like, oh, join my newsletter, oh, repost this post, like this post, follow me, you're asking for too many things, which is ultimately just really confusing for the audience. So what I'd recommend is maybe do 2 or 3 CTAs at most and call it a day. Don't try to do too many. Okay, so now moving on to the next part. So that's really this week's content. And if you guys have any questions in the chat, you can ask them in the chat. You can ask them in the school community. I've got a thread right now going where you can ask questions on here. But I did a little poll here, and most people this morning said they want to learn more how to book clients from LinkedIn, how to get engagement, not that interesting, how to stay consistent, not that interesting. It was really just how to get clients. And ultimately, the reason why I built this school community and the reason why I built like the premium community, where it's like the paid community, is to help you make more money and to get more clients on LinkedIn. Because ultimately, the whole goal of building on LinkedIn is to build your business, to make more money for your business, and to increase cash flow. So that's really the main goal of this school community, is to help you make more money on LinkedIn and not waste time, just creating content that does absolutely nothing. So that's going to be the goal. So I'm going to answer a few questions I have here first. If I scroll down here, I know I saw a couple ones. I know that Gabriel did ask some things that you would do on a daily basis to get more views and sales. honestly, the best way to do is what I said here, like daily engagement on LinkedIn, and not just like creating comments on people's posts just to create them, like not trying to send out 100 comments a day, just authentic, genuine comments that are high value on different creators. So if I go to LinkedIn, if I go to my feed and I find creators that are in my niche, let's say Dan Coe is in my niche. Let's say he's targeting the exact ICP that's purchasing my products and services. I'm going to go to his post in the morning. So he posted 24 minutes ago. I will create an authentic, genuine comment on this post. It's not written by AI. It's just myself, my own vibe, and how I write comments. So I would respond to this guy, right? I scroll down a little bit. Let's say that Elena is also in my ICP. She's a perfect person to, that also directly targets my ICP and people that want to purchase my products and services. I will respond to her thing. But I'm not going to do this 100 times a day if I don't have the time and patience for it. I'll probably do it 10, 15 times. But it's really the easiest way to grow and get more profile views is going to be engaging. Also, sending out those 100 connection requests a week. If you can, make sure they're very high quality connections, not just random people on the internet. So make sure they're high quality. They're people that are in your ICP, other maybe creators that you want to connect with and build a greater network with. Make sure they actually make sense. And the other thing was 3 to 4 posts per week. I do see a lot of people asking like, hey, do I post once a day? I don't have time to post once a day. Like it seems too much content. If you are just starting out on LinkedIn, if you don't have a lot of clients yet, if you post every single day on LinkedIn, you don't have like the best content yet, you're going to overrun your audience. So I would say post like 3 to 4 times a week. Don't overproduce. Don't just saturate your content. Just focus on high quality content. Make sure it really makes sense. Make sure it targets the specific audience. Make sure you're targeting these pain points and do less content every single week. Maybe like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. Just kind of like spread out throughout the week. And then the days that you don't post, just repost the content you posted the day before. You're essentially posting, every single day, but you're just repurposing the content. If you post on Monday, you repost the same post on Tuesday by just reposting the post. A lot of people aren't going to remember you even posted that. So a repost kind of just boosts up in the algorithm, sends it out to your second, third degree connections. Easy way to grow there. Okay, real quick in the chat, we've got Chintu, welcome in. Good to see you in here. Okay, in the essay, your shared post proved to be very useful for our progress. Thank you for providing such valuable information. Got you. No worries. And then Nina, welcome in to the live. Thanks for always bringing value. You know it, of course. Always happy to. Let me actually move the chat. Where's the chat at? I've got the chat on the right side. I think I might move it to... maybe not. I don't know if it looks good. I think we'll keep it how it is for now. I've got like, this is the main screen here. We've got the chat on this side, but I'll keep it there. All right, cool. So go back here. All right. What's up, Maya? Good to see you in the live. Hope your Friday's treating you well. It's, what time is it? 12:11. Oh my. Middle of the day. I'm actually getting off a cold right now, so I'm super sick. I feel terrible. All right, so the other thing was, regarding this question from Gabriel, was to build an email list. It's probably like 80% of my revenue, guys, is straight from some email. Build an email list, whether it's a newsletter, whether it's free lead magnets, whatever you can do, like literally start. If you don't have an email list right now, like literally today after this live, go build an email list. I don't care if you have 0 subscribers, just go build one. Start growing an email list because it's the only way to actually own your audience. So build an email list, own your audience, start a newsletter, do whatever you can do, but just build an email list. I promise you it's the best you can do right now. Okay, and then Washim, good to see you, man. Thanks for all the support in the school too. Appreciate you, man. Heck yeah. Okay, so the next question on this post today, if you guys have any questions, you can drop them in the chat or just add it to the school here. And if you're not in the school yet, there's a link on this post to join. All right, so the next question we had here after Gabriel was, okay, we'll answer this one. And Chris, good to see you, man. Glad you joined the school. Hell yeah. Dude, we got so much content, man. If you have any questions or like need help with your LinkedIn or how you're building your business, you found the right place to ask those questions. So don't be shy. And Zonaria, good to see you. I think I say your name right? Zonaria? Sorry if I totally just destroy your name there. But good to see you from the YouTube side. Okay, so I am planning to launch a new lead magnet on LinkedIn within a week. The last time I did this, only 40 people grabbed it and they weren't my ICP. All right, that's a big problem. I want to make sure it's actually attracting the right audience. Any tips on how to launch it better on LinkedIn? So my rec for this, if you're launching any sort of free products, like so for my example, I don't launch too many free products, right? Lead magnets are great, but if you overrun your post on, join this lead magnet, join this one, comment the word ready for this lead magnet, comment the word XYZ for this one. If you keep doing that over and over again, it's actually going to really saturate the quality of your lead magnets. So if you're creating, let's say, a lead magnet every single day, it's just not going to show the value you're creating in these lead magnets because it's obviously built by some sort of AI or something. So what you want to do is I would recommend doing maybe one lead magnet weekly. You could maybe even do two if you want, but don't do too many lead magnets. So for my lead magnets, I run a 5-day free email course. Now, it is the best like free course to just go through 5 days. It's 5 days of emails. It's straight to the point. It really gets you set up on your profile, how to start creating content, how to target like the right outreach systems for your LinkedIn. It's very valuable. So if you're not targeting the right audience and your right ICP with these lead magnets, I'd figure out first, is your content like normally already targeting the right audience, right? Does your content like target those pain points that your audience has? Is your lead magnet even targeting the right people in the first place? So if your lead magnet is, let's say, for example, in the post to promote this lead magnet, if it doesn't target the pain points your ICP has, the exact struggles they're struggling with, the value they're going to get from the lead magnet, you're probably not going to target the right people. But in the first place, before you even do any sort of lead magnets, if your content and your profile in general is not targeting the right people, if you start posting lead magnets, you're already like going downhill because you're already targeting the wrong people in the first place. So what I recommend is first, make sure your profile is fully optimized to target the right people that all obviously want what you're selling. And then two, make sure your daily content besides your lead magnets are also targeting the right people. Because if you're trying to post lead magnets and your content is already pretty bad, then you're not gonna be able to sell. You're not gonna get a lot of people in that lead magnet that are the right ICP. So just keep that in mind. All right, great question though. All right, so then we got Harishita. The next question is, I love your thoughts on LinkedIn events. I come from a tech background, but recently transitioned into branding while reshaping my audience. I realized many of my old connections weren't aligned, so I've been reworking my network. Awesome. Do LinkedIn events actually help in attracting my audience? As I'm doing one right now, I would say 100% yes, in converting them into clients. So a little iffy. If you're doing a high ticket service, I wouldn't say that a lot of people on a LinkedIn Lab are going to just join your high ticket service, especially if you're selling something that's $5,000, $10,000 a month. But I think it's a very good way to kind of bring in the community, kind of build an audience around what your whole intent is of creating content in the first place. If your only goal on LinkedIn is to get clients, make money, and that's it, and like get some time freedom, you're not going to sell as much, because the whole point of creating content online, I've been doing this for 10 years on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, LinkedIn. If your only goal is to make money and to sell stuff, you're not going to sell anything, because the whole purpose of creating content to build an audience is really to gain trust with people, build a community of people that you can help. The whole goal is to help people through what you're doing, which is why it's so important to create free stuff. So it's really important that you can, even if your LinkedIn events aren't getting in your high ticket clients, whatever, if you can build an audience that trusts you, in the future, you're going to have a massive audience when new people come into your community. Let's say someone comes and sees your post. If you have a very solid audience already watching your content and they can see that you have a great community going, that's an easy way to sell. So even if everyone that's watching, let's say you have 1,000 viewers and none of them is a client. If somebody new comes in and they see, oh, this guy's doing everything right, he's got a great LinkedIn, he's got a great community going, they're going to trust you a lot more. Even if everyone that's already watching you is an ideal client, which 99% of your clients are not going to be the people that are reacting to your content, right? They're going to be people that are lurking in the shadows, which is why I recommend, yes, create content. Even if your content attracts 0 clients with the people that are already like watching you, the people that come in later on, the people that are lurking, are more likely to interact with your stuff and actually reach out to you to pay for your high ticket stuff because they see that people trust you. That's like what most people get wrong about creating content online, building an audience. That's like the biggest thing people don't realize. Okay, Marcia, if you lost your audience today, how would you start over? YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and why? I would do LinkedIn and YouTube, honestly. Long form YouTube content is the easiest way to nurture your audience. It's been working really well for me in terms of getting people over to my school, getting people over to Instagram, etc. LinkedIn is very easy as well to target a very specific audience. It's also a lot of the ICP that I target. For example, on Instagram and TikTok, it's a lot much of a younger audience. It's not really people that I want to target as much. Yes, there's a huge audience there that I like, but in terms of like high ticket clients, if you want to build like more cash flow for your high ticket stuff, the best platforms are probably going to be LinkedIn and YouTube right now, just because the amount of value you can provide in your long form videos, the amount of content you can create. I just like these two platforms to kind of piggyback off each other. And I would definitely do Instagram and TikTok down the line, but I would really focus on the newsletter, LinkedIn, and YouTube approach. And Maya, welcome to the stream. Posts are always helpful. Thanks for being awesome. I got you. You're welcome. No worries. I love creating content. I've been doing this for so long. I love it. Sorry if I sound sick though, guys. I've been sick for the last like 4 days, so pushing through. Okay, and if you haven't joined the school yet, go in the post on this live and you'll find the link to that. Let me see. Let me go to that post real quick. If you guys go to this post here, which is where the live is, you will see you can actually join the school right here at the very end of the post. All right, cool. So that is that question. Great question, Marcel, by the way. Love that question. All right, so the next question is from James. I saw, as someone on the free LinkedIn plan, I have around 30 connections, invites limit per week. Okay. My main struggle is finding my target audience to sell to. Either I find them and I haven't posted in over 1 to 3 years, or I simply just don't get accepted connection requests. Sorry if I was confusing. So yeah, if you're only saying 30 connections, I mean, I wouldn't honestly like focus too much on connections right off the bat. If you're only relying on like cold DMs, sending connections, like having like a sequence there for messaging, it's not going to work at the very beginning. And the reason why I say this is because I would focus more on your content and engaging with creators and building like an actual network of people you can talk to versus just trying to do cold DMs and stuff. So cold calling, cold DMing, cold emailing, it's all great if you have a proper structure for it. But what I've noticed is people don't want to be sold to, right? They want to have a genuine conversation to see if they can help you or if you can help them or not, right? So yeah, if you can't send out all the connections, you don't have a great strategy for that yet, that's okay. But I would say definitely focus more on the engaging aspect of creating an audience first, engage with top creators that are targeting your ICP, build that audience first, and you can literally sell anything down the line. So, but I would definitely, if you can, send those connections every week. If you send 100 connections a week, and let's say 80% of them will connect back with you, you've gained 80 followers. You've also probably gained some more profile views, people that engage with your content, probably some more DMs that might be interested in your content, in your services. So definitely worth saying those connections as well. Cool. So those are all really good questions. If you guys have any other questions, just drop them in the post here today, and I'll get through those. I did have some questions from yesterday's post as well that I can definitely go through. But yeah, so right now we've got the school community, which is great. Oh, that was a question I had. Yes. So I will actually show you guys the process of the content calendar, ultimate content calendar. Oh, my camera just died on me. That's fun. Okay. Get that set up in a second. Cool. Also, if you guys are in the school, really quickly, before I show you guys the ultimate content calendar, we do have some giveaways going on. We're doing like some cool stickers. We've got some school hats, which you can actually join. If you join the school, you can see we'll be hosting a giveaway for like the top people of the week. Got some cool stickers here. Look at these. Wait, let me just go to this scene. Awesome. We got some cool stickers. Let's go. We've got some hats. Pretty sick. I'm not much of a hat guy, but we've got hats to give away. We've got, oh, of course, the school shirts, but pretty sick. And then some sweatshirts. Pretty epic. So yeah, if you're not in the school yet, make sure you join the school community, and you can get access to giveaways there. If you guys are in the live too right now, if you type in the chat, you'll automatically be entered into the giveaway. I think this first one will be doing only US people just because of shipping and all that. It's gonna be a lot easier for me to ship to the US. Long term, I'll definitely figure out how I can do more of Europe, probably Asia. There's some countries I just can't ship to, but we'll figure it out to make it possible to send out giveaways to all over the world. But I think for the first giveaway, we'll probably stick with US. Cool. So that's the giveaways. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go and show you guys the ultimate content calendar. Also, if you can't stay for the whole live, don't worry. We have everything's going to be recorded and it'll be published on YouTube and etc. So you'll have access to that. Let me put this to the right a little bit. Okay, yeah, you'll have access to the video recording, so do not worry. All right, so really quickly, I will show you how I basically create my content calendar every single week. So this is the rough draft. So essentially, when I first create my content, we start with the Google Sheets, just normal raw ideas. So every content type here on the left is a specific content type of the posts I create. So we've got a few options. Infographics, we've got personal images, which is like posts of my face. We've got newsletter promos. So essentially if I'm doing a newsletter that day, we've got video content. We've been testing horizontal video. It's been working a lot more than the vertical style. So if you haven't tried it, try horizontal. And then, carousel. So that's going to be the first thing I want. So today, if I'm posting today, what am I creating? That's gonna be the first thing I do, because if I know what kind of style of content I'm creating, whether it's a video or carousel, it makes it a lot easier for me to write the copy and actually start the flow of the post. And then really quickly from the chat here, how do you manage all this in one time? I can show you that. If you have lots of old contacts that aren't your ICP, should you remove them? Honestly, in my opinion, no. I've got a lot of people from the gaming industry. I've got a lot of people from every industry, honestly. People that I've met, IRL, people that I met at events that aren't in my ICP at all. I don't think it's worth it. I think that it's just good to have a big network. If you want to, great, do it. But in my honest opinion, I don't think it's worth removing people unless they're like a pain in the ass, But otherwise, I would just keep them. Okay, so to manage all this, I will start showing you. So this is the rough draft, right? So you create the content type. That's how I know exactly what I'm posting today. So once I know that, for example, let's say we're doing this first one, personal image. Okay, so the theme of the post. What do I want the ultimate theme to be? Is it going to be about talking about outbound? Is it going to be talking about the LinkedIn algorithm? Do I want to talk about copywriting? It's kind of just the theme of the post where I want the copy to flow essentially. So when you have the main concept and the theme, you would just write that here. It's very easy to come up with because it's very broad and it can really be broken down into anything, which is why I recommend doing the theme next. Okay, now before you do the post concept, we're going to come over here to the purpose of the post. So I have a few different purposes of when I create content. Every post you create on LinkedIn has one purpose. You don't have 10 different CTAs leading people to different directions. One post, one purpose. So if I'm posting today, am I trying to grow my school community? Am I trying to promote my content agency? Am I trying to grow my following, obtain emails, promote my YouTube channel? Am I trying to promote a recent newsletter edition? Whatever it is, one post, one CTA. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to send people to your YouTube, then to your newsletter, then to a paid product, and then tell them to follow you. If you do too many of these things, it's way too confusing. Your audience has no idea what you want them to do. One CTA. Okay, so you have the purpose. Once you have the purpose, you've got the content type and the theme. So I know that today I'm posting a photo of my face. I'm going to be talking about outbound. So like outreach, engaging. I'm also going to be working on growing my following. So this is a authority-based post with my face. Very easy. Now, I'm going to take all the pain points that I know about, the struggles that my audience has. I might even go into my past or LinkedIn posts. I'm going to go to the comment sections and find frequently asked questions. I'm going to go into my school community. I'm going to ask people what their main struggles are right now. I'm going to find out the main pain points from all these posts. And that's how I'm going to determine what the next post concept should be. And in this sake, for this post, I said, I've seen outreach tactics. I've seen every outreach tactic in the book, yet 99% of DMs still fail. Because I saw, this is actually what, I posted this post on August 22nd. So I was going through my LinkedIn post and I saw people saying that it was a post about outreach and people were saying that all their DMs fail, like all their outreach stuff fails, their connection requests fail. So I said, okay, so I've already seen my audience is failing with their outreach tactics. They have no idea what they're doing. So that's exactly what I'm gonna post today. I do it for every single post. The next post, if you want 3 to 5 replies today from your LinkedIn outreach, stop saying these DMs. Another post directly on that struggle that my audience had. The next one, the number one skill you can learn on LinkedIn is writing, because it's one of those skills that I'm really good at. I've seen my audience ask me like, what should I learn on LinkedIn right now? So another perfect skill to learn. So build your content type, understand your theme, know the purpose of your post, go through all the pain points for your ICP and write that down in the post concept. Once you start with a post, you can set the status to draft. Once you've scheduled it, you put it to schedule. When you haven't started yet, put not started. If you posted it, write that you posted it. Also, Randy, yes, I'll be sharing this spreadsheet. It's also going to be in next week's YouTube video if you haven't seen all the YouTube content yet. And yes, this will be recorded, so you'll have access to this entire video as well. Okay, real quickly, before I show this next part, we'll have a question. How do you figure out if you are confused between one post and it seems to fall in 2 categories? You can honestly take that one idea and publish it twice into 2 different categories. Or if you're asking about the theme of the post, you keep this really broad and then try to narrow it down as much as possible. Typically, the post concept is like the hook. So worst case scenario, go into ChatGPT, give it your content type, tell it your theme, tell it the purpose of the post, give it a couple ideas for the post concept, and just ask chat for some ideas. Now, you're not using chat to write your hooks, you're not using it to write your content, but just ask it for some more ideas in terms of like your ICP and the pain points. You can even drop all the pain points in chat to get some better ideas. But if you are confused about a post and it falls in between 2 categories, you can even split that post, 2 different posts, maybe like one today, one tomorrow, one today, one next week, and just do different, like both the different categories. You can do that too. There's no really specific strategy for that. But once you guys are at this point where you've got this spreadsheet, you're starting to fill it out, you're posting 3 to 4 times a week, you've got the ideas, that's when I take this very, very rough draft of ideas and I'm going to go into Supergrow. Okay. So Supergrow is where the magic happens, all right? So in my Kanban, a Kanban is essentially where you can review your drafts, you can review the content, you can edit for changes, you can approve your content, you can schedule it, and then you can look at your published posts. This is the best tool if you're trying to create LinkedIn content. Let me show you. First, you have the draft content on the left side. All right, so you're drafting content, looks great. Maybe you want someone, maybe your VA or someone on your team to review the post to see if it looks good. Or maybe it's just to make it easier for you to tell what's drafted, what's not. So you've drafted the content, right? Let's say this post is drafted. All right, I'll put this in the drafts. All right, so I have a drafted content now. All right, so once we've drafted it, we've got the image for it. I'm gonna throw it into the in review. All right, so we've got the in review tab now. That post is in the review. So from there, I can go and I know, okay, so I have to review this content. Maybe I've got like 10 posts in here that I need to review over the week. So when I have some time, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to review the content. Now, it's in reviewed. I really like it. Okay, I'm going to put it into the approved. Oh, I don't like it. I think it needs some changes. I'm going to drop it into the changes needed. I'm going to do that for all the posts in review. So now I've got like 5 posts in approved. I've got like 7 in the changes needed. So I have a lot of work to do on those changes needed. Now, I'm going to spend some time going through all the posts that are approved. I'm going to go ahead and schedule all those. I will drop it into the scheduled. I have a content calendar already set. So when I drop it in the schedule, it'll automatically post every single day at 7 a.m. So it's already scheduled for those specific times. And if I need to make changes, I'll of course sit down for a little bit and change all these posts. Once they're done changes, I'll put it back in review because I need to review it again. Once it's good, boom, put it back into approved. Once it's approved, I can drop this into scheduled and I'm good to go. So that's pretty much going from the super rough draft of all of the concepts and the ideas of the content, going into Supergrow and putting it all into the Kanban board so I can actually review the content. And then you're going to see it in the publish. Now, if you go after the Kanban, you can go to the calendar. You can review the monthly content. So you can see, okay, we've posted these posts last month. You can see all the posts you posted. You can see the visuals attached to them. You can see everything. So it's very helpful to see what you've been posting, what works really well, what's getting views, the tags on the post. It's the easiest way to just manage all of your content. So from the question earlier, how do you manage this all at one time? It's because I have a system like this that makes it really, really easy to manage the content because it's all in one spot. I've got the Google Sheets for drafts, and then I've got Supergrow for the inbound schedule of the content, you name it. Okay, my question, if my ICP is lurking in the shadows, how do I know that my content is working? Yeah, great question. So honestly, pretty hard to tell because I don't use impressions or likes to determine if I'm getting, the right ICP to my content. But I know because I'm getting a lot of DMs, right? I'll have DMs from people when I post content. I'll have a DM, someone saying like, hey, I really like your content. I'm struggling with the exact same thing. I'd like to know X, Y, Z. So I determine if posts do well based on the calls that I get booked, the people that join my school community and are like actually genuinely interested in the topics that I create, and also the DMs that I get asking questions about the post. If you're getting no comments on your post, like not just AI garbage, like actual comments, if you're getting no DMs and you're getting no book calls and you're getting no one in your funnels, that means that you're probably not targeting the right audience or your content is just not good enough. It's not targeting the right pain points. The goal is to get people, one, to get FOMO. So FOMO comes with relatable content, with like eye-catching content, and things that people want to learn more of. So let's say you're really good at a skill that someone wants to learn, show that in your post. So if your posts just aren't performing well in terms of booking calls, getting people into your email list, it's probably just because your content is horrible, right? So that's like one of my main indicators of knowing if my content did good or not, is being able to tell, okay, what posts are getting me sales on my high ticket. I had a post 2 weeks ago that got me 4 new high ticket clients for my content agency. I knew that post did really well because that same day I've had 4 book calls. So I know exactly that post targeted my exact ICP. They're now in my funnel and they're now a high ticket client without even having to do any sales call or anything. So that's why it works so well when you can tell which content does well based on what happens afterwards. So the content that does really well, I would create like a swipe file. You can even do that in the Supergrow if you want to, but pull up your Apple Notes, create a swipe file for all the content that actually gets you booked calls, get people into your lead magnets, whatever it is. Swipe all those files and then repurpose those posts, create stuff similar, use similar hooks, similar copy, similar visuals to just keep redoing that same thing over and over again. Marcel, good to have you, man. Hold up, I need to blow my nose because I'm sick as a dog. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. We're good. Cool. Sorry about that. All right. So the next thing is, that is really the Supergrow process. Did anyone in chat have any questions about this? Because it's very specific. It has been working for me. I've been testing different strategies on LinkedIn for like 2.5 years. This one has been golden for like 7-8 months. So if you have any questions, now is the best time to ask. Also, if you haven't joined the school yet, the link is in the chat. So make sure you join the school link here. You'll have access to everything we've got here. We're at 187 members, so we're getting close to 200. Maybe we can reach 200 by end of this week. Maybe the end of this weekend would be epic. Cool. So we're 30 minutes into the stream, probably do another 15 or so minutes. But if you have any other questions, guys, drop them in the school, drop them in the chat, you name it. Okay, so I will show Aimfox then now. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the outbound because I had some questions this week regarding outbound, how to do DMs, connections, etc. So really just if you want to learn how to do outbound, I would just use like a tool. If you want to do it manually, you can as well, but I'll just show you like using one of the tools that I have just so you can kind of see the process for it. So essentially how this works is we're going to do a new campaign. We're not going to do inbound. We're going to do outbound. So we're targeting second and third degree connections. We're going to do a LinkedIn search. So we're going to target people based on a LinkedIn search. You can even do stuff like people that engage with a specific post. But for this sake, we're going to do a LinkedIn search. Okay, we're going to target 10 people because that's the target. And we're going to target, let's say, LinkedIn creators. Targets. Cool. Going to create the campaign. Now, if you have, obviously, if you're on LinkedIn, you can use the search on LinkedIn, or you can use a tool like this. Yo, and Justin, good to see you, man. From X, good to see you. We're just going over some LinkedIn stuff right now. So the first part is if you want to target specific LinkedIn creators, we're going to enter some keywords. So my ICP, let's say, is a LinkedIn creator. We're going to say creators. We're going to say coaches. We're going to say consultants. Consultant. Okay, I'm not tripping. Consultants, and we're going to say, we'll do content maybe. Yeah, we'll do content. Okay, so we got 4 keywords. Now we've dropped this down to 29 million people. Way too much. So for locations, I'm going to select United States. For industries, we're going to talk about technology and internets. We'll do, yeah, that's good for now. For languages, I'm going to do English. For skills, we're going to do consulting. We're going to do marketing. We're going to do coaching and mentoring. All right, narrowed down quite a bit. Let's see how many people we got now. So we've got down to 32,000 people. All right, that is a lot better now. So now we can target the exact people who have, they're a creator, a coach, a consultant, content creator. We've got United States, which is where all my leads would come from. So for your sake, if you're targeting United States, if you're targeting Canada, if you're targeting Europe, if you're targeting Asia, whatever it is, make sure you put that industry, the location. Industries, target a very specific industry. For languages, I'm an English speaker. I don't want to attract any Spanish-speaking people, German-speaking people. I want native people to English. Otherwise, I can't work with you. So I'm going to choose English. The skills that people have, boom, I've got people. So then I would press on next. You'll find some targets within these 32,000 people that are my ICP. Also, Justin, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm glad you also got to the school community as well. That's epic. We have lots of stuff coming in there. We've also got a giveaway happening for the next day. So if you're in the school community, you'll be entering into that. Also, you've typed in the live, so you'll also be entering into the community. Awesome. Okay, so then now we've got 10 targets. Press on next. Okay, this is where the fun part comes. If any of us not done outreach, then pay attention to this because it's really cool to use. So the first thing we do in outreach is this is how the campaign flow works. The very first thing we're going to do when we have a target is we're going to view their profile. All right, you're going to view the target's profile immediately after connecting. So let's say we connect, right? We're going to view the profile, and then we're going to wait. We're going to react to one of their posts, one of their recent posts. We'll do that 3 hours after connecting. Okay, so we've connected with them, we viewed the profile, then we actually react to one of their posts, so they see that we've actually been engaging with their stuff. Cool. Now, from there, we're going to start the message sequence. So don't be salesy here. This is the most crucial part if you're doing outbound or DMs, email, whatever it is. If you're salesy, you've already lost. If you're selling in your first message, hey, you want to check out my free Loom video or blah, 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 you've lost, right? You've lost potential clients. So you want to start by doing something like this, right? Glad to be connected. Love seeing how people are using LinkedIn. How's your content coming along? I'm just making conversation with people. I'm just asking them how their content's going. We'll probably talk for a few days, whatever it is. If they're an ICP, I'll be able to tell, but I never want to sell anything to people if they don't want it. And if they don't need the help, I'll go to their profile. If obviously she is building a business, if she's really good, doing good with her, what she's selling, but her content just isn't good, and I'm going to, of course, reach out and say, hey, honestly, we can help you out with your content. Do you want to join the free school community, get some value there first before doing anything else? I always send my free stuff first before we, pitch anything. But that's going to be, so you basically react to their post. And then after that, we'll do let's say 7 hours later, we're going to send a first message in the sequence. Yo, and Evan, good to see you here from YouTube, man. Okay, yeah, Eva, it's a pretty good strategy. And then so that's going to be the message sequence. So you've got the first message sequence. I don't do follow-up messages because follow-up messages are actually going to be manual. So we actually just create genuine conversations. If you want to, you can even create a second follow-up message. Let's say they don't respond. You can even create another follow-up. If someone doesn't respond to me, I'm not going to follow up because they probably don't care. So in my opinion, I'm not going to reach out again. But that's going to be how to warm them up is just to do a simple ask. If they are struggling with content, they've told me that they're struggling with content, they don't know how to do their content, I'm going to send them to my free stuff, my school community where they can get tons of value for free. I don't have to sell them on anything. If they naturally get up to my paid stuff without me doing any upselling, great. They're part of the paid influence now where I can then, once they're paying for my paid community, for example, I can then reach out and say, hey, if you're looking for more, if you're looking to really expand your content, listen, we can help you out with my done for you, done with you approach of coaching where we can actually create your content for you, or you can work with me. We'll basically create your content together. So that's the whole strategy behind me selling. I am never too salesy. I'm never pitching anything in my DMs. And I'm also not doing like crazy sales calls where I'm trying to get you to buy on the call. No, it's like straight, genuine advice, how to help you. And I'm always trying to make sure I can get free stuff first before trying to throw stuff in your face. Unless the person's like, dude, I'm sold right now. Like, I want to pay you right now. When can we start? So that's going to be really the flow for AimFox. It's pretty awesome. You can use this for if you're trying to target specific your audience. You can send connection requests. You get a lot more people to engage with your content that are actually part of your ICP. So yeah, that's kind of how you create this. I guess last thing I'd show you is like a schedule. So for example, I'd recommend doing like 100 connections per week max. I wouldn't go higher unless you or LinkedIn can do that. But you can create a schedule. You can kind of create like a, based on the target's time zone. So the US, probably going to be Central, Pacific, or Eastern. So plus or minus 1 hour based on where you are. I'm in Central, so minus 1 hour in Pacific and plus 1 hour in Eastern. So for the schedule, I just do 9 to 5. You can even do something like 0 to 24 if you want. That's all day. You can apply it all the days, and then you can literally send out connections all day, every day. 100 per week max. And then yeah, you just hit next, hit start, and that's how you create a campaign. And you can just do that like 10 times for different targets: LinkedIn creators, SaaS founders, startups. You can do coaches, consultants, whatever it is, whatever your ICP is. That's a simple outreach tool. So awesome. Yeah, that's kind of how you do that. Hope that answers the questions for those of you that were doing outreach. Yo, and Brad, what's good, man? Good to see you in the live. Hope all is going well. Hope you made it to the school as well. Okay, so any other questions in the school? Let's see. All right, new comments from... All right, cool. Here are a few questions I want to struggle with. All right, looking back, what were the first 2 or 3 steps you took that actually made LinkedIn profitable rather than just engaging? Yeah, for me, it was testing content. I was posting actually twice almost every single day. A lot of my content ideas when I first started was from X and Instagram. I pulled that over, to LinkedIn just to see what would work. And that was really the beginning. It was just like testing ideas. I think like the biggest thing that started making me do better though was taking all like ideas that already performed really well and just kind of twisting them up into my own style. I remember I took, actually back in the day, I got in trouble for this. This was like 2 years ago. But I was taking some really good ideas and I took something from like a big creator in the space and I like fully changed it. But there was a couple words I didn't change enough. And I actually got reached out from the person and said like, hey man, like you should give credit for this. I totally messed up. Like it was like too similar. But I actually remember that because of how like influential that was, because I was using these great ideas and it was really helped me grow. I think I grew like 20,000 followers in 6 months or like 5 months. So what I'd recommend is find what's already working and figure out how you can make it yours, like your ideas, yours, like build it with your strategy. So if you have a specific system that you use, take that best idea, now build it into your system so you can replenish this and repurpose it into your strategy you can then output to your audience. So I would just say find what's working and double down on that and then repurpose it. That's the best thing I would do. And then the second question, what were the biggest mistakes you made early on while trying to monetize LinkedIn? Oh, launching stuff too early for sure. Dude, I remember I don't know if you guys have launched any products recently, but my first product actually, I launched a educational like platform, right? It was on Discord. This is back in college. This is what, 2020? I launched a product on Discord. I did, dude, I'm talking like months of preparation for this. I was building like crazy, like building all the video frameworks. I was building all like the strategy behind the actual tool. I did 0 building in public. I did 0 like talks about the product in like online. And I did 0 promotion in terms of like email marketing. I had no email list yet. So I did 0 promotion. And then I launched it. I'm talking 3 months of work. One customer, I think maybe 1 customer max. I made like $50. 3 months. Yeah, that was the biggest mistake ever. So my advice is if you're building something, let's say you start right now, you're going to build a product. Build it in public for 3 months. Talk about it for 3 months. Build a wait list for 3 months. Get people hyped up. The reason why things sell so well is hype. If something isn't hyped up, it's not going to sell as well. Now, a lot of people don't agree with me on this about hype, but I've been doing products for so many years now. I've done crypto stuff. I've done gaming stuff. Hype is what's going to sell. You may not believe it, but people are like FOMO heavy. They're fear of missing out. So if you've got things that are hyped up beforehand and you say, hey, we've got 100 spots left and it's been hyped up for 3 months, I promise you it's going to sell. If you're trying to launch something and you don't talk about it for 3 months, all of a sudden you're like, hey, I've got a new $100 course, buy it. Okay, why? Why should I buy it? I haven't heard nothing about it. There's no wait list. I have know nothing about it, right? So don't launch too early. And if you do launch, make sure you're building in public first. That's gonna be the biggest thing I regret doing a few years ago. And then if you were starting from scratch today with 0 connections, how would you approach building a profitable LinkedIn presence? I'd create epic content. I'd create content that literally no one can resist watching, looking at, clicking. I think content is by far the biggest thing. I also wouldn't post probably every day. I'd probably post 3 or 4 times a week, just because it's probably overwhelming, especially for newer creators. It's very overwhelming to post every single day. So I probably post 3 to 4 times a week. I'd focus a lot on engaging and building new connections. I would not build alone. I'd have a group of LinkedIn creators that are like me. So I'd find 5 other Alexes or people that are like me, and I would create content with them. I'd get in a call and just build systems with them, build funnels, build content. I'd have people that support me in the journey, because if you're doing everything by yourself, if you think that you can just do everything by yourself and not have anyone that's like following your journey, supporting you, you're not going to find results. So I'd have like 5 dudes that are just like obviously hungry, grinding like me. I'd find those 5 guys. We just sit down in calls, we create content together, we do whatever, we would do everything together, and I would just start engaging, building like an actual community of people and building an audience before trying to sell anything. No CTAs, just straight up value, straight up just like lead magnets, just straight value in all your stuff. And then before trying to sell anything, that's what I would do. But have like a network of people that actually want to support you, build with you, and see you grow. If you have people that are just competitors that like want to see you fail, that pray on your downfall, it's like the worst community to have next to you. Okay, and then what was the other question? Okay. Always should never hide. Your followers will turn into fans and owners of whatever you are creating. That's exactly why I always recommend like build an audience. If you have an audience, like you can literally build and sell anything you want if you have that audience, right? So especially even if you're doing something like oh, Parvin, thanks for the link, by the way. If you're selling it like a community or whatever it is, if you're building an audience first, if you have 100,000 people that are like fully trust you, or like 50,000 people that trust you and you're following, you can pretty much sell anything, right? If you have that trust, you can sell anything. If you have 100,000 people that are just following you because you drop some lead magnets or you're just like throwing stuff out there for free value, yeah, like they're following you because you probably made them do it for a lead magnet, but do they actually trust you, right? So build the audience first, and that's how the easiest way you're gonna be able to sell anything. Okay, are you doing cold emailing? If you are super cold, we have super cold emailer. I don't know if I know your question, but no, I'm not doing cold emails. I don't believe in cold emails. I don't like it. It's never worked for me. I also don't feel like hiring someone to do that for me. So no, I barely even do cold DMs at all. It's really just focus on content and then some outreach for connections. But yeah, we don't do any sort of cold emails, no cold calls or anything like that. Just straight value. If you find my stuff, great. A lot of my clients also come from referrals and just word of mouth. So I have one client I'm working with who loves my work. They're going to tell their 5 other creator friends that, hey, like this guy's doing an amazing job. Use him for your content, your systems, whatever it is. And I get a lot of clients and people in my paid stuff through referrals and word of mouth. So that's the beauty of doing like an audience-based community versus just like selling stuff, because you can pretty much sell anything with word of mouth once you have enough clients. If you have no clients, then provide free stuff and get testimonials and reviews like that from free stuff. That's a really helpful thing. But yeah, AimFox is what I use for outreach. We use Supergrow for LinkedIn content, scheduling, engagement, you name it. Both those tools are phenomenal. I use TypeDream. TypeDream is going to be for websites. I use Beehive for email, newsletter, automations, segments, you name it. I use Stripe for payment processing. I use Adobe products for videos, etc. I use Captions app for editing my short form videos. I use Spotify for the vibes. Got that right now. And then what else? I think it's like most of the things I use. Google Sheets is like one of my favorite tools because it's just like you can put everything on it. Google Docs, I love that. OBS for doing something like this, streaming. School obviously for community, and then WhatsApp for conversations with people. Slack sometimes for convos. And then I think that's pretty much the tech stack. It's a pretty simple tech stack, but it works pretty well. Works pretty well. We've got some, of course, Google extensions as well, but that's not as fun. All right, guys, we're at 45 minutes right now. So if there's any other questions, drop them in the score in the chat. Otherwise, we're probably going to head off here soon. I've got some calls I need to take today and some content I got to work on. But if there's any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat before I leave. And if you haven't already, make sure to join the school. We're at 189 people right now. So we're getting close to 200, probably hit 200. We're also top 490 ranking. So we're getting up there. Top 500 right now, which is pretty epic. So yeah, if there's any other questions, make sure to ask in the chat, guys, or in the school. Is Stripe easy to set up? Dude, Stripe is the easiest. Like, I know a lot of people don't like it because they have some problems with chargebacks. First of all, I've never had a chargeback before, because if someone asks for a refund and they actually like want to cancel someone or whatever, I'll refund them. But yeah, Stripe is by far the best platform. It's you can send like one payment links where let's say someone wants to join your monthly service. You can send them a link. It'll charge them every single month. Really easy to start. They take a 2.9% fee on every transaction, but it's free to use. So if you get a sale, they just take 2.9% of that transaction. So if you sell a product for $100, they're essentially taking $3. $3 from you, and that's it. And then what software is this? Which are you talking about? School? This is School right here. I use OBS for the streaming, but this is School. If you haven't joined yet, go to the link of this, like the link of this live. There is a link to the School. Join the School. Highly recommend. It's great. We're building like the #1 community for LinkedIn right now, so make sure you guys get in there. But yeah, that's gonna be the tech stack. Highly recommend Stripe if you don't already have like a payment processing platform. Really, really good. Should we niche down? I mean, it's a great question. I think it depends on what you're selling and how you want to target your audience. For me, when you say niche down, like, yeah, I target very specific people and I talk about one very specific thing, which is like LinkedIn growth, building your business. But I don't just talk about LinkedIn. I also help people build their YouTube channels, help them build their newsletters, help them build funnels to target, people on School. Like, I have a lot of other things than just LinkedIn growth, but it's all based on the same sort of, okay, you start with LinkedIn and you can funnel out of that, right? So when you say niche down, I wouldn't totally niche down like on one very specific thing unless you're so good at it that you know exactly what you want to sell. I don't like to just talk about LinkedIn. I want to talk about other things too, because especially long term, like LinkedIn might get boring. People might hate LinkedIn. Like, who knows what happens in 2 years, right? So if I'm like full on LinkedIn and all of a sudden in 2 years it goes away, it's like, damn, I need to have some other skills. But I know everything about YouTube. I've got a great newsletter that I know about, building a School community. So it's good to have all these other platforms and other like skills and topics to talk about versus just full on niching down, So it really depends on your skills right now and what you want to, where you see yourself in like 2 or 3 years from now. Camera is down again. Let's fix that. Okay. I only have a free LinkedIn account. Is the Sales Navigator creating the campaign flow? No, I don't have Sales Navigator. I use different third-party apps like Supergrow, AimFox, TypeDream, Beehive. Yeah, I don't pay for Sales Navigator. And also, is it automatically connecting with your ICPs? Yes. So if you target the right people on them, absolutely, it's going to find your ICP. It's also going to take your content and take your current strategies and basically find your ICPs for you. So if you have like 10 million targets and you narrow it down to like 30,000, out of those 30,000, it's going to find like the ideal ICP for your brand and for what you're selling. And then those are going to be like the main targets for you. Yeah. Praven, thank you for sharing that as well. Yeah. So that's going to be AimFox and Type Supergrow and the School, of course. 190 members. Let's go. Awesome. Yeah, so if you guys are not in the School yet, make sure you join. Any other questions for me regarding niches, creating content that sells? Pavan, thanks for the questions again as well in the School. Those are great questions. I think it's really important that you grow an audience first. So if you guys want to learn anything from this live, I think it's really important to grow your audience first before trying to sell anything, whether it be a high ticket service, low ticket courses, whatever it is. I would recommend building a audience first, a community, creating good content, not just like, AI written content, like genuinely good content that people see like, oh wow, like this actually hits. If you don't have that this hits feeling, like an oh wow moment from someone's content, the content is just not good enough. If you ever like go on your timeline and you just see a post, you're like, oh damn, like this is really good. That's the type of post you want to kind of recreate. So I think that's the most important thing about social media in general. Building audiences, like your content has to be just top quality. Okay, I see some connection requests to here on LinkedIn. I will accept you guys. Appreciate all you guys for joining the live today as well. It's good to have everyone here. We're about to hit 40,000 followers on LinkedIn as well. Like about 50 more, so getting close to that. That is amazing. Let's see. Yeah, so 190. We've got any more questions? Nope. All right, so guys, I think I'm going to end the stream here. We're hitting 50 minutes, so that's it for me in this live. I'm going to have a recording on YouTube, on X, on LinkedIn, on School. So you'll have this video to go back to and watch. And if you haven't already, if you guys are in the live, go in the post. Just make sure you join the School community. Introduce yourself so we know about you, your LinkedIn profile, so people can connect with you, follow you. And then if you have any other questions after this live, you can either DM me. But I would just ask in the School community. You've got so many people in there to answer those questions. And then, of course, I'll answer as well. So go in the School community, ask your questions, introduce yourself, and then feel free to watch this live again. But yeah, we'll be live again next Friday as well. We're trying to go live every single week. So if you haven't already, make sure to just join the School, set the reminders for the lives, and yeah, we'll see you in next week's live session. Thanks, Pavan, Randy, for tuning in, guys. Omera, thanks for joining in. Mark, good to see you in here. Evan, good to see you. Brad, good to see you. Eva, good to see you. Who else we got? Muhammad, Justin, Marcel, Maya. If you guys were in the live today, you're also going to see the giveaway in the school community. So go ahead and see that. You'll see probably the giveaway later today. I'll post the winners and all that stuff. So yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Udkars, good to see you in here. Maya, Chris, Hira, Zona. We got all you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the school or on my LinkedIn very soon. All right, cheers and enjoy.